ready to start, we have to start thinking about our short story. We have to focus on what we know so far and move on. So yesterday, we worked on developing our main character, taking a walk in our main character's shoes with that graphic organizer, starting to think about the things that our main character likes, the things that our main character might dislike, items that identify our main character. Last week we took care of our plot structure. Can somebody tell me, a raised hand, what are all the different 5 main parts of a plot structure? Is there anybody? All right, Mr. Saunders.
Well, there is the conflict, a climax.
Well, let's try to go in order. Where do we learn about the characters?
So the plot of the story is the climax.
You're jumping too far ahead.
That's what appears first.
Okay, let me get Mr. Calendar. Thank you.
Exposition.
Exposition, what happens there? What happens in the exposition? Ananda. Introduce the character in the setting. What's next? Hakeem.
Rising action.
Okay, so the rising action where we do what? What do we start and turn up? The tension. Good. And then the middle of our short story, Malika. And what's that? Okay, and then where do we go next? Thank you, Unique. All right, so our falling action, and then we sew up our story's end with our menage. All right, so we've got that. We have clear sense of characters. We're going to know how to introduce our characters. We have clear sense of all the things that need to happen. Today, this is our focus, okay? How to begin your short story. Now, I don't mean begin, because most of you have actually already started it. You have ideas. But you need a beginning that's going to do something. What do you think your beginning must do? Kyle.
Grasp the reader's attention.
All right. I have to read 120 of these, right? If your beginning is going to make me turn to the next kids and read yours later, then it's not a very good beginning. So we're going to discuss why the first few lines matter so much right now. And then we're going to try it. All right? I'm going to introduce 3 ways that short stories start off. There's more than 3 ways that a short story can start off, but we're going to look at 3 main ways, and then we're going to see some examples. Everyone grab your handout for today. Okay. Anyone else missing it? And do you have yours, Roshana? Great. So what's the first way that a short story can begin? Based on this handout. Kareem, nice and loud.
Focus on the setting.
Okay, so what does that mean? Before you even read the example, what does that mean? So many hands, excellent. Let me hear from Ananda again.
General idea, just point out where your story is.
Why would an author want to start off with that? Why do you think an author would focus on the setting? Why might they do that? Yes.
So that you can get a feel of the story.
So you're going to get a feel of the story, you're going to be grounded in where the story is going to take place. Can you read that example in a nice loud voice, please, Shalise?
The hospital waiting room was empty at the hour of the night. It was so quiet I could hear the second on the large wall clock told each passing second.
And the second choice we can do, people? Another try for starting our short story, Siobhan? Why would we focus on one of the characters, probably the main character? I haven't heard from Ashley enough.
To focus on the character, you would basically introduce the main character and see what the character is about.
Okay, and one of the last choices that we're going to look at today, and we're going to try one of these 3 right now. Can you read that for me, Sean? In the
middle of pain. Someone called for help, shouted a man on the side of the road.
All right, so that's the example. The other ones focus on character. I'll never forget my grandfather. He was the most charming man I ever met. Focus on setting, Shalise read. It's in the hospital room. All of these things grounded in your story and they make the reader want to read. All right, let's change gears right now and just quickly look at this quote, because I know you might be getting tired. We just started, but some people don't feel like writing a story. They don't think they're good at it. This is good advice from a famous author. He said, if you can write one short story a week, doesn't matter what the quality is to start, but at least you're practicing. At the end of the year, you have 52 short stories, and I defy you to write 52 bad ones. Can't be done. So the concept of writing all the time is how we get to be a better writer. Let's look at some of the examples from well-known stories. All right, take a look at these and pick one that stands out to you. You have about 40 seconds. Find the one of all these starts. Which one would you like to read the most and why? Take a look. About 10 more seconds. Erica, which one grabs you?
The monkey's paw.
The monkey's paw. Now, is it the title that grabs you? Okay, so the title grabs her. That's important too. Who read the first few lines of a story and that's what really grabbed them? Let me hear from Kareem. Which one? Okay, can you read that out nice and loud before we try our own?
Knowing that Miss Madeline was afflicted with heart trouble, great care was taken of great time as gently as possible in lieu of her husband's death.
Oh, that's the story of an hour, so that's below. The title and the author are below. Why did that grab you, sir?
Because, like, I wanted to know how her husband died and, like, what was going to happen to her.
Makes you want to know more things about that character. So I would say safely that that was focusing on character. Let me see a show of hands who are going to try right now to change the beginning of their short story or fix it to focus on character. Who wants to focus on character? Okay. Who wants to focus on setting? And now let's see the hands of the people who are going to just smack us down in the middle of the action. What would be the best thing to use to smack us in the middle of the action? A tragedy or an accident, but more so than that, what kind of style? What kind of writing? I'm thinking of a little, my little hint. To smack us in the writing, we might have dialogue. Right, quotation, characters actually speaking. So you have time now to get started. I'm going to come around, take out your short story materials, all your graphic organizers, the things that we've been working on, and let's try to use one of these styles to begin our story. Those of you who think you've already used one of the styles, call me over and me and Miss Gerald will come and take a look at what's going on there. All right? Do you have a good idea of how all of these three work?
Yeah.
Not that they're not more, but these are three of the most common ones. Any questions? Ashley. Oh, you have, what do you think you started with so far?
The character.
Setting us up with who the character is. Anyone else?
Can it start off with a question?
Can a short story start off with a question? Sure. But let's think about what that question is doing. Is it trying to make us think about the character's mind? Is it trying to show us where the story is taking place? Or is it in the middle of the action? All right, do you know how you want to start? Okay, let's everyone grab their stuff and we're going to begin right now. Okay, so that's going to be in the middle started, guys.